Hi, Darin Mangum here, the PPM attorney. Today I wanted to talk about marketing your PPM or marketing your private placement memorandum to investors, um, and specifically, what do you actually deliver to them? Obviously, we all know that you can't just hit them up with a PowerPoint, send an email or executive summary, and take their money, but you actually have to deliver a private placement memorandum to them, whether in paper format or electronically. You actually have to deliver the PPM or private placement memorandum to them because that is the selling document. That being said, just from a legal standpoint, just delivering the PPM to them is not usually the whole story. This is an example of a private placement memorandum that actually, obviously has been printed, and it's just has the coil binding, and so it's not super fancy. Uh, um, but this is sort of, if you were delivering it in paper, this is sort of what you would deliver to them, um, which obviously it fulfills the legal requirement, but it may not be that impressive. This is for example, a real estate deal, and everything's in black and white, and it's not very not very descriptive, right? So this is one example of materials that you could deliver, right? This is kind of bare bones. Again, whether you deliver it a PDF or in paper is as long as you keep records of how you deliver it. This, on the other hand, is a little bit higher end. This is an oil and gas fund that I put together a number of years ago, and as you can see, they have a folder, and then obviously there's the PPM itself. In this case, they spent quite a bit of money in a nice binding and a booklet that is well put together. But also separate and apart from that, inside here, they have the subscription documents that are convenient and separate and apart. The subscription documents are obviously part of the PPM itself as an exhibit, but for convenience, they print off a separate copy of the subscription documents to make it easy for the investor. In this case, if they received it in a paper copy, okay, I got the PPM, that's done, and now, okay, here are the subscription documents that I would send back. If you were doing it electronically, you would send obviously the full PPM itself in a PDF, and then have a separate set of documents that are the subscription documents that they could easily fill out either online and email back to you, or again, they could either print it out or what have you. But it's also important to make sure that the subscription documents themselves are also part of the PPM. And oftentimes I'll see, oh, here's my PPM, and then the subscription documents are not in this document, and so that's a mistake. And then of course also they have some marketing materials that again are not part of the PPM, but they may be some ancillary materials that basically hit the highlight. A welcome letter, things of that nature that are again from a marketing standpoint still important to deliver. At the same time, you can see in any of these documents we've got a disclaimer at the bottom on all these sort of materials, saying, hey, look, basically this is not the PPM. Don't rely upon any of these sort of documents to make an investment decision, but to refer back to the PPM in all cases. And that goes to show that also holds true when it comes to like a PowerPoint. If you have a PowerPoint presentation, you'll definitely want a disclaimer in there that refers back to the PPM. And so, but anyway, these are just some examples of how materials can be presented. Obviously, this is this place. They have a place for a business card, and they've got their address, and so obviously you can spend quite a bit of money in putting together a really nice package, but again, the same principles hold true if you're doing it all electronically. You can still have, in addition to just the PPM itself, you could certainly have a separate PowerPoint, a separate executive summary, and then obviously for convenience, a separate set of subscription documents. And so that way, again, the investor can, obviously the PPM is important, but then the rest of it is also important to tell the story from a marketing standpoint. And so, that's something that I also help do in the course of my private, in addition to doing the PPM for you when it comes to marketing materials. Having done this for 18 years plus now, I've seen a lot of, how things are presented and what's effective and what's not. So, that's something I can certainly help you with. If you have any questions about your particular marketing materials or your investor package, feel free to give me a call. And obviously, if I'm drafting the PPM for you on the legal side, I can certainly help you, advise you on the marketing front as well. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. And again, feel free to give me a call and we can talk about it. Thanks, Mike.